What's going on, everybody? You probably clicked on this video because, well, based off the title, you're wondering if you're going to get through what it is you're going through, if you're going to make it, if you're going to be able to persevere. Truth be told, I have no idea because, well, I don't exactly know you. We're just strangers. I'm someone on the internet. You are just watching. But I only say this because you, as much as me, know there are people who indeed have not made it through what they went through. There are people in this life that we have seen who end up becoming worse in or because of adversity. They become worse in spite of the things that they go through. It's like maybe you had a tough family life or a childhood home, or maybe you got laid off at a job. Some people do not recover. Some people indeed become a lot worse. So it's only right that you ask yourself, if you can question yourself, if you're going to make it through this. And that is why I said I don't know. But I can tell you how to give yourself at least a better chance at getting through whatever it is you're going through. Now, remember, I don't know your situation. I don't know the context. I don't know what or anything about your life, really, other than what I may assume. How you can give yourself the best chance at getting through this tough time period, this tough situation, this tough experience, is to try to find something to learn from it. This is just one thing that I at least have noticed that's helped me a lot. Is in spite or through the toughest things that I've experienced, I've always asked myself, how is it that this serves me? How is it that this makes me better? Even the worst types of things, run-ins and problems with my family and parents, and just a lot of trauma-related issues, run-in or problems with my friends, or relationship issues, any issue that you can have. Like, I always try to see if there is something that I can find that I can say, this is what it's teaching me, this is what it is telling me. And truth be told, we don't know. I don't know if it's actually that, but we're all just assuming these things. We all believe, a lot of us believe everything happens for a reason. And it's better than the alternative, Like, what are you going to believe? Nothing happens for no reason at all? Like, everything happens for no reason at all? Because, like, that's beneficial, right? It's not. Anytime I've believed in things in that manner is like, I just start becoming very dark. Life doesn't seem like it makes sense. A lot of things become confusing to me in that point. So in order to get through what you're going through, I think finding a reason to go through it, giving yourself a reason why it's helping or beneficial, no matter how hard it is, giving it purpose, that pain, to not pointlessly suffer, is what will help you get through it. And then also having goals, having ideas, having an ideal life that you want, like, if I had to, people who have gotten worse because of the issues that they have faced, I can't help but think that these people didn't imagine a life that could be better for them. You need to be able to put yourself out there a little bit. And what I mean is, like, you don't have to go make a ton of friends and go party or whatever. Experience life, though. Like, I didn't realize that I was a part of a broken situation or a broken family until I had went over to a friend's house and experienced a healthy one. Experience in itself can teach you more than isolating yourself to one environment. You have to be able to expand. You have to be able to experience these different environments and see how they can change you. See what you like and dislike about different environments, different structures, These are the best, like, these are just off the top of my head. This is off the top of my head, but this is what comes to mind when I think of what is the best possible way that you can get through what you're going through, no matter how tough it is. So it's like finding meaning, finding purpose in the suffering. Sometimes you won't find it till later on. Something that I've learned myself is that I didn't find the purpose of something until it had revealed itself to me. And I can't explain how the hell it even reveals itself to you, because like, what is that? Like, depending on what your beliefs are, it could be a god, it could be by circumstance, it could be a spirit, it could be anything. So it will reveal itself eventually, and that's if you're willing to be open enough. Hair in my mouth. It's if you're willing to be open enough to receiving it. If you're open minded enough to be like, through time, let's say an event happens, something happens, and then a year down the road, you're thinking about this event. That can be something where you're like, oh, that's why this happened to me. Like, I'll give you an example, a quick example. When COVID hit in 2020, right before it hit, I was deciding between a chiropractic job and a job at Aldi's. And Aldi's is a gas station, if you don't know what that is. And what I was going to be at the chiropractic place was this chiropractic assistant, right? And I did not meet the qualifications, but they offered me the job. Now, during this time, the chiropractic office was wanting to pay me like no, not even 15, $10, $12 an hour. And Aldi's was going to pay me 12 to 13, something like that. And I ended up taking the Aldi's job. At the time, I was like, man, I would have really liked to do the chiropractic one. But I needed money because, well, I was broke and I couldn't afford rent. So I needed money. I took the Aldi's job, and I was really kind of bummed about not getting doing the chiropractic thing until COVID hit. And if you realize, like, if you lived in the U.S. at least, COVID, a lot of these necessary jobs people kept their jobs if they were deemed necessary, meaning like grocery store workers, which I was because I worked at Aldi's. So I got to keep my job and work and be able to pay my bills still, because the chiropractic's office closed down. It was closed. And that was one of those small little moments that didn't happen till months later that I was like, I'm kind of grateful that I took this job. And I laughed about it, and I actually was just like, I see what the universe is doing. It's playing with me. So, like, some things don't unveil themselves to you until a later date. It's really hard, like, when you're going through some tough things, when you're going through a tough moment or a breakup or maybe some family issues, whatever it is, it's hard to recognize how it can be it can even begin to recognize how it could be beneficial to you. It's almost unfathomable because you're experiencing so much pain and so much hurt and heartbreak and anger, maybe some sadness. Like, it just all depends on who you are as a person. But if you're able to every so often try to analyze the situation itself and ask yourself how it can be beneficial, or what is it that you could take from it that could make you, or maybe help you learn to not have to go through something like that again. It's like you put your hand on a stove, you get burned. Well, you automatically are going to tell yourself, okay, I'm not going to put my hand back on because that burns. It's like a learning process. And if you can make things about learning and how to improve who you are, I think it gives you a better chance at not having to experience it again. But better yet, giving things purpose and meaning helps you not have to, or it can help you move on, move through the pain. And this video is random, so that's I think that's about it. That's all that I came up with off the top of my head. I'm gonna definitely try to have these more structured next time, but this is just a quick little rant that I came up with. So yeah, do I know if you're gonna get through what you're going through? No, I don't know you. Some people end off worse in spite of problems. But I can tell you, from just my own personal experience, I would argue to say, for myself at least, that I ended up a lot better than what was given to me. That was what was offered to me, the circumstances or situation in which I grew up in. I am a lot better off, and I've done a lot more with what was given to me than I know a lot of other people have. And I can say that those are some of the things that I took away from him. Like being able to experience things, putting yourself in different environments, no matter how comfortable or uncomfortable it is. Willing to adapt and try to experience some kind of change. And, it's just about learning about yourself and trying to find anything that's worth anything. Trying to find a meaning, a purpose to justify why it is you went through what you did. Of course, in the, I guess, grand scheme of things, we don't know, we don't know, but I have learned that it's better to believe that something happens for any reason at all, and you can believe that it happens for a positive reason, as opposed to believing it doesn't happen for, or that, opposed to believing everything happens for no reason at all, and it just happens because the world's awful, Give meaning to things that seem so confusing, make it make sense, and maybe you can actually put your life together in order and maybe help other people do that as well. Who knows? Depends on where you are, what you want to do, and who you want to be. That's it for the video. This is the second video of the channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. And have a good night. See ya.